Hey, how's it going? My name's David Terry. I'm a captain here with Humboldt Bay Fire, and I'm also the coordinator for our water rescue program. For those of you who don't know, we actually have a water rescue team. It consists of 15 specialized rescue swimmers that we have here in the department. Everyone's been through several different training classes, an open water rescuer course, swiftwater rescue technician, and then we have annual and quarterly training drills that we do ongoing, as well as training that we do with state park lifeguards, U.S. Coast Guard, the Sheriff's Office, Humboldt Bay, Harbor District, and any other number of agencies that we interact with on a regular basis here to keep our waters and waterways safe. So, as most of you know, Eureka is surrounded on three sides by water. We have the bay to the north and to the west of us, and then we also have Freshwater Creek, and we also have Elk River down to the south of us. And so that leaves us open to a lot of potential for water rescue. We, on average, have anywhere between 5 to 8 water rescues every year, sometimes more, sometimes less. So we have the ability to handle both swiftwater rescue and floodwater rescue, so that would be anything out in the Elk River area, as well as down south, up north in the freshwater area. We also have the ability to head out of the area to handle swiftwater rescues as well with neighboring agencies. And then we also have what we would consider to be our open water rescue. So that would be anything in the bay or out on our coastal areas, Samoa, Manila, and traveling further north to assist allied agencies out there. So we do have the surf rescue capability as well. So just wanted to show you guys some of the stuff that we use, some of the equipment that we carry and that we have at our disposal here. So in my bag here, I keep this bag here on the engine at all times when I'm on duty. And in there I'll have both a wetsuit, some booties to keep my feet warm, and most importantly, to keep them protected on the bottom for the rocky coastline and sharp objects, things like that. And then I have a bright yellow rash guard, so that way people can see me while I'm in the water and they can identify me from shore. I want to make sure that people can see where I'm at all times, so that way onshore rescuers are able to help me if I need it. And so generally speaking, anytime I'm going to be in the surf or in the bay, this is what I'm going to wear. This is going to be my equipment of choice. If I'm going to be in a swiftwater application, then I'm going to look at going for my dry suit, which is over here. And before I put my dry suit on, I'm going to put on my thermal underneath to stay warm, because dry suits are actually only as warm as the clothing that you're wearing underneath. It's really just a thin waterproof piece of material with a latex gasket at the neck and at the wrists, with a waterproof zipper, waterproof booties going down. So this will keep me nice and dry, but it won't keep me warm. So I have to wear something warm underneath. Along with that, I have thicker rubber boots that I wear with good traction, so that way I've got good traction depending on what the environment is, whether it's mud or flood waters. We never know what's going to be underneath of us, slick rocks, things like that. So gotta keep your feet protected. I also have a helmet and what we call a skull cap to keep my head warm. These go hand in hand. We always wear our helmet when we're doing swiftwater training and swiftwater rescue because of the slip potential and the potential for us getting carried downstream. We don't want to hit our heads on rocks, things like that. So good water rescue helmet. I also carry a piece of webbing with a locking carabiner. I can use this for any number of different applications, whether I need to clip into something, grab a hold of somebody. I can use this as an extension to reach out, throw it to them, bring them in. I can tie off with a rope and be able to use this to get across stream using a tension diagonal. So it's always good to have a locking carabiner and some webbing. And in a swiftwater application, I'm also going to wear a PFD. So this is a special PFD. It's not like the one that you would normally have on your boat when you're out cruising. This actually has what we call a release or a release buckle. And so on the back here, I can clip in or have someone clip in a line to me. And as I wade out, if I were to slip off and get dragged through the water, if I were to get entangled in anything, I can actually pull this toggle on the front, which will then release the strap out, and I can go free because the ring stays behind, and I can swim away and not be tangled up in the water. So a couple other things that I have with this here. I have a whistle so that I can signal. I have a knife with a quick release detached and a blunted edge, so that way I don't actually stab myself and cut a hole in my dry suit. So that way if I do get entangled in a line or something comes up, I can hopefully cut myself out. And then inside of my PFD I have some equipment here as well. I have another locking carabiner I keep up here for quick access, and a locking carabiner that I keep inside of my PFD, so that way I've got one in here. So we like to have three, so that way we can set up what we call a Z-drag. Basically that's just using a really simplified rope system and mechanical advantage, so we can pull a person or a boat or something like that off of a rock should it get entangled and get stuck on the rock. And then we also have two prusik lines, and we can use these as anchor points. We can also use them to clip into the line, so that way we have a handle if we're doing a tension diagonal to get across stream. So just good equipment to have. All Swiftwater guides will generally have those three things with them at all time, along with a throw bag. And a throw bag is just a bag that has about a 75-foot long piece of rope in it, and it does exactly what it says. You can throw the bag and the line pays out, and you can rescue victims that way. Then you can also use your rope for setting up your Z-drag and things like that. So typically all Swiftwater rescuers will have 3 carabiners, 2 prusiks, and 1 piece of webbing along with a throw bag. So we call that our 3-2-1. So that's my flotation and Swiftwater application. We talked a little bit about our open water, if we're going to be making an open water rescue, whether it be in the bay or in the surf. So if we're going in the bay or we're going in the surf, there's a couple of key pieces that we're going to bring with us. Number one, if we're swimming out, we're going to bring our fins with us, because it's a heck of a lot faster to swim with these than it is without them. And we'll bring our rescue can. So some people call it the Hasselhoff can, but basically this is just a flotation, hard plastic float with a tether on it. Strap goes over your shoulder. And as you swim, this drags behind you like a torpedo. You can use that to send out to your victim. They can hold on to it. If your victim's unconscious or they're not able to hold on themselves, you can wrap your arm around them, tuck up underneath of them, and you can actually swim and carry your victim using this flotation aid. So these are real nice, handy device to have. We keep one on all of our rigs, as well as our duty rigs, so the chiefs have them as well in case we get on scene and we need extras for additional swimmers. So you probably see the big surfboard that we have behind us. That's always a point of topic for everybody. They see these on our engines while we're driving around town. It's not a normal surfboard. It actually has handles on both sides going all the way up. And so this is a 10-foot long board. It has a pretty small fin on the bottom. We're not actually surfing these. That's really there for stabilization, so that way it keeps us in a straight line while we're paddling. We can use these in the surf. You can actually get through the surf pretty well on these, but we found that the rescue board is an exceptionally fast and easily deployable rescue device. You can get to a victim probably 5 times faster than you can swimming. And so we have one of these on all of our engines. We always have them on scene. If we have a water rescue, you'll almost always see one of these in the water going out if we do have a rescue, especially out on the day. So I guess that kind of brings us, we got a couple last little few things. If we know we have a victim that might be submerged underwater, or we have a submerged vehicle in the water, we do have snorkel and mask so that we can make an attempt to get underwater and search for the victim, see if we can help locate them. And then a couple of little odds and ends that we have in here. I do have gloves, but pretty much almost never wear these just because the water's not that cold around here that can't handle it for a few minutes in the water. We also carry Chem Lights, so these are real nice at nighttime. We can crack these, put them on our PFD, put them on our helmet. We can also throw them in the water so that we can see how fast the current's moving. Nice way to just kind of mark the last known location for a victim in the water as well. I have a small window punch and seatbelt cutter. If we do have a victim that's trapped in a vehicle in the water, this is real handy to help get them out if they're not able to get themselves out. Strobe light is always good for nighttime identification, so we just turn that on and it flashes and it'll show our location in the water. And then last but not least, we have a flashlight, so waterproof flashlight, so if we have nighttime operations, we're especially searching for a victim in a vehicle, this is real handy to be able to see through the water and be able to try and find them. So it's a lot of gear for one job, but you know, we need to be ready for any possible eventuality. And so, like I said, seeing as how we have water on 3 sides of us, we have the potential for flood water, swift water, open water, surf rescue, and you name it, we're ready to handle it. So that's pretty much it for our water rescue team and the gear that we carry. Definitely like to encourage everybody to stay safe when they're out in the water. Please never ever turn your back to the ocean. Sneaker waves claim more lives on the North Coast every year. And so be safe out there, have fun, and make sure you go take your swim lessons, kids.